All right, good morning, guys. So I am outside of my hotel right now in this little village in Romania. Behind me, you can see the incredible Carpathian Mountains, and I'm actually going to be going up there today. I'm going to show you more about that later. Obviously, there's a huge elevation difference between down here and up there, so I'm not doing it all on foot. I'll show you, like I said, a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to leave my hotel room, find some coffee or something like that, and we'll get the show started. Hey. Couple friendly cats outside of this hotel. It's awesome. Hey, come here. Trying to get you to see his face. Hey. Oh, whatever. Anyway, let's get moving. Not a bad view to have stepping right outside this little alleyway here. Alright guys, well, I'm walking down the street here in Beautiful, Romania. This is it's not a tiny village. It's, there's actually quite a few restaurants and stores and stuff like that here. It's clearly very touristy. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I showed you the mountains a little earlier, but look at that. And that mountain where the cross is up there, that is my end goal for the day. That mountain's at about 8,200 feet, and right now this village is at about 3,000 feet. So it's over a 5,000 foot elevation difference. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm actually getting over being sick right now. I was extremely sick a few days ago. I had like a fever, chills, I was all achy, I could barely even move. I was just laid up in my hotel room in Brasov for like 3 days. And then finally a couple of days ago, I was actually able to like get out and start, walking around and sightseeing. And let me tell you something, when you're solo traveling in a foreign country like this and you have that happen to you and you have like no way to have anybody like pick up medication or water or whatever for you, oh man, it gets miserable real quick. But luckily I made it through the worst part of it. Now I'm kind of, I'm a little nasally, but that's about it. Everything else is gone, luckily. And so I think I'm ready to handle this hike. We'll see what happens. But anyway, what I'm gonna be doing is walking about 20 minutes from here over to, they have a big gondola, and you can take the gondola up to the mountain ridge at about 7,200 feet, and then from there you hike about 4 miles along the ridge and gain about another 1,300 feet of elevation up to the summit of the mountain that I'm climbing, which is called Omu. It's the 6th tallest mountain in Romania, and it's the tallest mountain in this range. So luckily, because of that cable car, that gondola, it's pretty easily accessible if you want to hike it. All right guys, well, I just got a little breakfast and some coffee, and you can actually see where the cable car goes right there. So I zoomed in, I won't put my fat finger in the way, but yeah, you see those towers going up the mountain. That is where the gondola ride is. So the start of it is like down here, and then to the right, and then I got to go up the street going towards the mountains for a little ways. Should be about another 15 minutes from here. All right guys, I made it to where the cable car starts, and I bought my ticket. Very expensive ticket, I'll talk about that more up there. But yeah, just waiting right now for them to take the first group of people up. It should be at 8:30, which is in like 15 minutes. Thank you.
Tu așa ești că dacă nu prinzi prima... Păi serios, ce faci? Abandonăm sau? Da. Eu așa propun.
Am prins acum. Care e motor? La ce ori? La 20 de minute.
All right, well, I'm already out of breath from the higher altitude, but also from still getting over whatever sickness I had. But I'm up here off of the gondola ride. I'm hiking up this way towards this famous landmark that's right behind me called the Sphinx, and then we'll be going past there towards the mountain. But it's really beautiful up here. That gondola ride though, it was a beautiful ride, don't get me wrong, but holy crap, they packed us in like sardines, and it's very expensive. It's $46 for a round trip ticket, and maybe by US standards that's not crazy, but by Romanian standards that's very expensive. So it's unfortunate, but it's either that or you have to hike up here. And like I said earlier, hiking involves climbing like over 5,000 feet in elevation, so I wasn't going to do that today. There's no way I'd be up to that. But anyway, it's very beautiful up here. We're above the tree line, over 7,000 feet. Getting some beautiful views of the Carpathian Mountains. Fresh mountain air. Oh my God, it's so nice and cool up here too. It has been so hot, especially when I was down in like Bucharest and then in Brasov even. It was so hot. It's so nice to be up somewhere where it's nice and cool. I'm not even sure if it's like 50 degrees up here. It's really nice. But anyway, I'm gonna keep heading up that way. All right, well, I made it to the Sphinx. Cool little rock formation, or big rock formation up here. And I'm gonna come up here and show you guys the view. Incredible. We're on like a high mountain plateau right now, so like I said earlier, right now we're about maybe 4,000 feet above where the gondola ride started, but by the end of this hike we'll be over 5,000 feet. We'll be like 5,200 feet or 5,300 feet or whatever above where it started. But yeah, such incredible views up here. Beautiful views up here. I just passed this little mountain hut. I think it's a hotel, but it's not open at the moment. I don't know if it's only open in the winters or if they're like doing work on it or what, but for whatever reason it's not open at the moment. The weather is amazing up here, by the way. It's nice and cool. It's gonna heat up a little bit, but it should only go up to the 60s up here. And yeah, the views are awesome, of course. And yeah, there's not hardly a cloud in the sky at the moment. They are calling for thunderstorms starting at around 2 p.m. today, so I do need to be ideally back to the gondola long before then, but it's only a little after 9 a.m., so got plenty of time. Yeah, wow. Such incredible views. Loving this hike so far. And now that I've gotten a good distance away from the gondola ride. Whoops, almost dropped my phone. But anyway, now that I've gotten a good distance away from the gondola ride, there's like hardly any other people. There's a couple that's hiking a little ways ahead of me. And I know there's at least a couple of people behind me, but it seemed like most people just went up to, you know, hike up to the Sphinx or just stick to the area right around where the gondola drops you off. But like I said earlier, as the day goes on and they bring more people up here, I'm sure that it will get more and more crowded. Looks weird without my glasses on, but my glasses keep fogging up, so I decided to take them off. But yeah, wow, it is a whole different world up here. I'll tell you guys something. It's crazy. I mean, down in Buscemi, beautiful little village. But this is like, it's crazy. It's wild up here. I mean, this reminds me a lot of, you know, being in the, you know, in the mountains in Colorado or something, like on my way up to a 14er. It's really beautiful up here. I'd actually say this area has a vibe. If you guys remember when I did like Wetterhorn and then Uncompahgre, those 14ers down in the San Juans by Lake City, this area kind of reminds me of that area a little bit. Not quite as dramatic, but it's got a similar look. It's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, I think that is the summit up there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. That structure up there. Not positive about that. I could be wrong, but I think that's the summit. We've got at least one more big saddle to cross before we start making the final ascent up there. But yeah, this first saddle wasn't too bad. I mean, I think maybe lost like 100 feet of elevation, not very much. But I'm sitting at about 7,500 feet right now, so net elevation difference of, I guess, about 700 feet to the summit. But like I said, I'm gonna go up and back down again, so it's probably closer to like 1,000 feet of elevation gain left. I think the last approach up to the summit is going to be like super steep, because thus far this hike has honestly been, I mean, it's had, you know, ups and downs obviously, but it's been relatively mellow so far. This is incredible up here. I'm actually not sure where the summit is. God, look at those rock formations over there. That's crazy. But anyway, I thought it was up there because that's where there's like a big, you know, structure up there, which I know the summit has them. But the trail, it's telling me to go up this way. So, I don't know. So from looking at the map, it looks like either way will take you to the peak. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell on the map, but I'm like almost 100% sure that's the summit over there. And I can see like a clear line where this trail eventually winds its way up to the summit. But yeah, I think, you know, the only difference is, you know, this way is like the high route and this way is like the low route, you know. So if you go that way, then you'll be climbing up over each individual peak and, you know, hitting every single, you know, up and down on this ridge, basically staying on the ridge proper the whole way. And then on this trail, you're kind of below the ridge proper, and it's a little bit more of a level path. So not as much ups and downs, which that seems like the better way for me. I think it probably add a lot of time and difficulty onto the hike to go that way. This trail is freaking incredible, guys. Oh my God. This section right here where you're kind of on the off the ridge and on the side of this like big cliff, this shelf. Whew, this is incredible. I mean, this is what alpine hiking is all about right here. Absolutely nuts. I haven't been at this high of an altitude or really seen scenery quite like this since I was in Peru last May. Now Peru was definitely a little more hard to top Peru, but this is still incredible. Oh my God, look at these views. Such a dramatic like drop over here. We're just right on the side of this shelf. Look at this. To the right, just a straight drop down, and to the left, just this massive sheer cliff. Starting to see some wildflowers. I mean, mostly dandelions, but still cool nonetheless. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, but thought it was worth mentioning, is the Carpathian Mountains, specifically here in Romania, are famous for bear sightings. I'm kind of hoping if I do see one, I want it to be far away. Sorry, video cut out. Anyway, as I was saying, I want it to be far away because, you know, they're not black bears. They're brown bears, or what you would call grizzly bears in the United States. These are called Eurasian brown bears, which are very similar to grizzly bears. They're, I think, maybe a little smaller, but they're close to the same size, and they're equally as unpredictable and aggressive. So would not be good to have a close encounter with one. I honestly don't know how like high up in the mountains they go. I know grizzly bears in the US, like in Yellowstone, they do go to higher elevations, especially in the summertime. But I don't know about the bears here. But like I said, if I do find out, I hope it's from a safe distance. Because I've definitely been warned by multiple locals about hiking in the mountains and the forests up here because of how many bears there are. There's actually no black bears in Europe at all. It's just the Eurasian brown bear. But, you know, that's enough. That's more than enough. Well, I'm down on the final saddle before getting up to the summit, which is right up there. I'm actually not sure if that's the summit or that's the summit. Not totally sure, but I guess that whole area up there is the summit area. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be a difficult final push. Got about 600 feet of elevation between here and the high point, and no more downhill. It should be all uphill from here on out. I mean, it doesn't look like it's too crazy, but it does definitely look like it's going to get pretty steep up here. It's definitely gotten very steep on this final approach, but I am so close to the summit. That hut right there is what's labeled on the map as the summit, but there's this hill up here that has a Romanian flag at the top of it, and to me that clearly looks like the highest point on this ridge. So I think the spot with the flag is like the official summit, and this is just where the, I don't know, mountain hut structure, whatever that is, it's just where that is, just a little off the, like, I think it's all the summit area, but that's just the highest point. And I definitely want to go to the official highest point because I don't want there to be an asterisk next to my name. Need to make it official. I summited Omu, the 6th tallest mountain in Romania. All right, well, I am right off the summit. Trail goes up this way, and then I think it doubles back does a switchback. But you can see here, this trail that zigzags down the mountain, down into that ravine down there, into that canyon, that's actually the trail that you could hike directly from Bushtemi to get up here. And like I said, if you want to do that hike, I don't even know what the mileage is. I'm assuming it's like, 12 to 15 plus miles. But I do know that the elevation gain is going to be about 5,300 feet. So good luck to you if you want to do that. It would be quite the undertaking. But yeah, you can actually kind of see a bit of the village. Actually, I don't know if you can. You can't really see it from here. When I get to the summit, I'll probably be able to show it to you. But yeah, almost there. All right, guys. Well, I made it up to this little mountain hut up here and the weather station over there. I'm going to explore more around here in a bit, but I really do want to get up to the official summit just to like check that off to say I've done it. But yeah, these views are incredible. You can see that cloud inversion down there. That is awesome. Oh my God. This is looking north towards like Brasov. Can't see it from here, but it's in that direction. There are a ton of intersecting trails up here too. I don't know what the laws are on camping up here, but there's definitely some mountain huts you could stay at. I think this one is one that you can stay at if you want. And if you're allowed to camp, you could do that too. The only problem is that you're above tree line the whole time, so if a thunderstorm or super high winds roll in, you might be in trouble. But anyway, you can see right over there, that I believe is the official summit right there. It is really only like a few feet higher than this one, like maybe like 15 feet higher. But like I said, that's official, so I'm gonna go do that. Okay, well, I was mistaken. Apparently this is the true summit of Omu, not that. Right here where I'm standing is about 3 feet higher, so just barely, just barely. This is the true summit right here. This little cross marks it. But there's really not a big difference. From further away, it looks like there's bigger differences, but when you're actually up here, very little difference between all the different little sub peaks. But oh my God, this is just incredible. Look at these views. Look at that freaking cloud inversion. The views just go on for miles. You can look back at the trail I hiked. There's a couple other hikers that were behind me that are coming up. But yeah, I went all the way across there and then it dips down out of view. Actually, no, it doesn't. You can see it going back up over that ridge and then it dips out of view. So you can almost see all the way back to where I started, where the Sphinx is. Not quite, but almost. I'm hearing like sheep. I don't know where they are. I can't see them, but I can hear them. But yeah, wow. This is amazing. It was a difficult hike, but it wasn't horrible. You know, if you're in decently good shape, you could definitely do this from the gondola, that is. Like I said, from the village, it would be a massive undertaking, but from the gondola, like I said, it was about 4 miles and about 1,300 feet of elevation gain to get here, and there's going to be about 300 feet of elevation gain on the way back, so total like 1,600 feet of elevation gain on this hike. Not horrible, but definitely not easy either, but absolutely worth it for these views. Well, I definitely didn't listen to some of the warnings on there, like travel in groups. But I'm a solo traveler. What can you do? There are a lot of people up here now, though. Earlier when I first got here, there weren't that many people, but I've been on the summit for, I don't know, like 40 minutes now. And so a lot more hikers have come up, but it's still not like too crowded up here. And it's such a huge summit area, you can easily find places to be secluded if you want to. You don't have to stick right here by the hut. All right, guys, well, I have really been enjoying it up here, soaking up the views, and I actually just went in that little hut to check it out, and you know, they actually sell a lot of stuff in there. You can get like a full meal if you want. You can spend the night up here as well if you want in that hut. And they have, you know, water bottles you can buy. They have soda, beer, all sorts of stuff. So you can come up here, hike up here to the summit and eat some Romanian food and get hammered and have a good night camping in the hut. Come out in the morning to these beautiful mountain views. Doesn't get much better than that, right? Yeah, awesome. So I'm heading back down now. It took me about 2 hours to get up here, so I'm hoping it takes a little less than that to get back. Hopefully I can shave about a half an hour off of the return trip time, and we'll see how long I'm gonna have to wait to get back on that cable car. I have a feeling there's gonna be a bit of a line, but hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, it is a Monday. If it was a weekend, could be waiting an hour or two, but hopefully because it's a Monday, it won't be too bad. But it is a really nice day. I mean, so far the weather's holding out pretty good, and it is just beautiful up here. All right, well, I'm back at this little peak right here between the two saddles, and I almost took that wrong turn. This is where I almost started going just straight up this ridge, but luckily I ended up figuring that out. So like I said before, they'll both take you to the same place, this trail or this trail. It's just, do you want to climb up over a bunch of other peaks before getting to Omu, or do you just want to go like directly to Omu? But I got this good little downhill stretch coming up here, and then I've got one decent little uphill stretch after that, and then it should be all downhill from there back to the gondola. And man, this is so beautiful. I knew that I would eventually be having a baller time in Romania, and I was right. All right, well, there is the Sphinx over there, a rock formation, and you can see the gondola station right over there. That silver roof. You can see the towers over there. That's where the gondola goes back down the mountain. So I am getting close to the end of this hike. And look at that. Been hearing those damn sheep all day. I was like, where the hell are those sheep? And here they are. Looks like, I don't know, 500 of them, maybe even more. Lots of sheep. Lots and lots of sheep. There's the herder right there, and all of his dogs protecting the sheep from the wolves and the bears and lynx and all the other crazy animals that live up in these mountains. Pretty cool. All these dogs are like walking right up to me to check me out. Hey, buddy. I promise I won't hurt the sheep. Promise. As much as I want to pet them, I don't think that's a good idea. Some of these sheepdogs they're trained to not take too kindly to being touched or messed with. So, and plus, you know, I don't have the herder's permission, so leave them alone. Just let them do their thing. By the way, Romanian goldfish, not as good as U.S. goldfish. Just thought I'd put that out there. There's probably like a lot less poison in this goldfish than there is in U.S. goldfish, but still, the poison makes it taste better. All right, guys, well, I made it back to where the gondola is. There's actually another little restaurant right here. You can get coffee and snacks and beer, of course. You can always get beer in Romania. There's where the gondola is, so I guess it's time to go down there and see how long of a ride it's going to be to get back, or see how long I'm going to have to wait to catch the ride back down to the town, to the village. Beautiful. About 4,000 feet lower than we are right now. That was an incredible hike. I mean, start to finish, you get up here, you're already up above the tree line in the alpine tundra, and you're just following this ridge up and over little peaks and down into these saddles. Man, it's incredible from start to finish. There's some sections where there's lots of wildflowers, so it's very colorful. And yeah, the whole thing is just an amazing experience. And when you're up there at the summit, oh man, the views are unreal. I love getting those cloud inversions, and there was a great one today. So definitely, as expensive as this gondola ride is, I do think it was worth the money for me, because there ain't no way I would have been able to hike all the way up from the village and do like a 5,300 foot climb to get up to that summit otherwise. Well, I just grabbed a little reward, a little hiking reward, just a hot dog and a soda from that little snack bar thing back there. It was not bad. My face is a little red. I'm wondering if I got sunburn or if that's just because I'm like exerting myself. I guess I'll find out. But anyway, I'm back here at the gondola ride, so I'm going to see if I can hop on it and head back down the mountain. All right, guys. Well, I made it back down the mountain, so I'm back in Beautiful now. And man, that was incredible. Like I said, very expensive gondola ticket for the round trip. It was $46, which is ridiculous, but still would overall have to say it was worth it, because you really do get to, you know, get access to an otherwise very difficult to access part of the mountain range. And so, you know, I'm sure they know that, and that's why they charge accordingly. But to me, it was worth it to be able to hike up to that peak and get all those amazing views and experience just the nice cool weather up there too. It's not too bad down here. It's only like 75 down here, but yeah, I mean, it was in like the low 50s up there with like a nice breeze blowing. It felt so nice. So anyway, guys, I am going to start heading back down. So this hike ended up being about 8.5 miles total from where the gondola drops you off at the top to the summit and back. That's about 8.5 miles. And like I said earlier, about 1,600 feet of total elevation gain. From the train station to get here to the gondola, it's about a 25-minute walk, and I don't know what the mileage was on that. I think maybe like a mile, or you know, like a mile and a half, something like that. It's not too far, and it's, you know, not flat, but it's not very difficult either. I mean, you're just walking along like, you know, the streets in the village. But yeah, you can take a cab up here if you want. I don't think there's any buses that'll take you from the train station up here, but you can take a cab if you want to shave off a little bit of walking from the train station and back. But yeah, what an awesome place. And also, by the way, if you want to, there's like literally hotels and restaurants right here as soon as you get off of the gondola. So if you really wanted to, you know, head up there and get like an early start, you could just, you know, stay here, and then in the morning you can wake up and not have to walk anywhere. You're already right here. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did. It was amazing. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon for another awesome adventure here in Eastern Europe or elsewhere. And in the meantime, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, because I really am trying hard to keep up, you know, some good content for you guys. And you know, the more views and likes and subs I get for these videos, the more it pushes me to wanting to make more of them. So anyway, if you guys are enjoying it, show some love, and I will see you guys soon, like I said, for another adventure.